The climate change terrorists have caused the centre of Melbourne to be blockaded again. The intense entitlement of these folks. I made a little sign. Climate change hypocrites. How much CO2 have you emitted today? They point the finger and lecture other people about CO2 emissions. But all humans inhale air for the oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. So my solution for these people who are concerned about CO2 emissions, why don't you just hold your breath and save us all the trouble? Climate change hypocrites. What have you got against plant food? CO2 is a colourless, odourless gas that's essential for life on Earth, and especially important for plants. What have the demonstrators got against plants, for goodness sake? I imagine some of them, if not most of them, are vegans. Bill Thompson for Demo Watch in Melbourne. The centre of Melbourne is blockaded for the eco-terrorists. If you were trying to conduct a business in Collins Street today, you're out of luck, because the entitled brats of the eco-terrorist squad have got control of Collins Street today. And if you don't like it, as far as they're concerned, you can go and get stuffed. Collins and Exhibition Street in Melbourne this afternoon, Friday afternoon. Normally there'd be business occurring in this precinct, but no, the eco-terrorists are denying vehicular access. Good afternoon, Victorian Socialists. I'm sure you folks have been involved in respiration today. So you've been emitting CO2 all day. Yes, don't you feel a little bit hypocritical demonstrating against CO2 emissions when you're emitting it yourself?
We all emit CO2.
Okay. Well, why don't you just hold your breath, and that'll solve the problem for all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All of the coal executives into the concentration camp.
What is your source of taxable income, my good man?
I work.
Yeah. What is your source of taxable income?
I'm not interested in talking to you.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, not interested in talking to someone who has an opposing point of view. I'm delighted to chat with people that hold an opposing point of view, to try and work out just how hypocritical they really are. And I think I just found a couple of hypocrites right there. Good afternoon. It's Friday afternoon on the busiest street in Melbourne, one of the busiest streets, Collins Street. The eco-terrorists are holding up traffic to espouse their entitled view of the world. Screw anyone else who is hoping to do business in this part of town or travel on a tram through this part of town, and you can't do it because the eco-terrorists are here. Just excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Thank you.
That's not able vision, okay?
No. Other people are denied access to this part of Collins Street because the eco-terrorists believe they're entitled to block traffic. We fight for fair. Morris Blackburn, that'd be right. We fight for our share first, Morris Blackburn. Oh, okay, now we've got the Aboriginal land demonstrators. It's Rent-A-Crowd. Green Left Weekly. Can I just ask how much CO2 you've emitted today, my dear?
Oh, probably heaps.
Okay, well, you're a bit of a hypocrite, aren't you?
So are you.
Okay, well, I'm not asking anyone to shut it down.
Glad that makes you happy.
Pardon me?
It's meant to be peaceful.
It is peaceful. It is peaceful. They're criticising me.
Oh, you're one of those white privileged older men.
Apparently so. Yeah. Apparently so.
Glad to see you out
I'm
here.
just an old taxpayer who's trying to make my way up a public street that I pay taxes for. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, all good, my friend's here.
Do you have grandchildren, sir?
I do.
Excellent. Would you like to make a bet today?
I bet that the climate change is the last thing that they're going to need to worry about in the next 20 years.
Awesome.
That China and Russia and
Awesome.
Islam are the things that they're going to have to worry about.
Can I ask you then? Would you wager your inheritance to your children versus my inheritance? To
I'm
my
not going to
child?
point my camera at your child here.
No. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to.
Okay, no,
I'm
well-
saying, would you like to put a bet for your inheritance to your children against my inheritance to my child, that in 20 years' time, if it does happen that there is climate change, man-made climate change,
Right.
then all the inheritance that you are going to give to your children would go to my child.
Look,
Would you like to make that bet?
No.
Would you like?
No,
why
no,
not?
I believe.
Why not?
I believe that the climate is changing.
Oh,
and
so
that,
why are you here
and
then?
that man is
Why-
having an effect.
Then why are you here
But
with that?
I don't think 10,000 years ago there was a kilometre of ice across much of the
Why
world.
are you here with that?
What caused most of the warming
Let's make a
before
bet.
before humans got here?
Let's make a bet.
What caused most of the
Let's make a
warming
bet.
before humans got here?
Let's make a bet.
I think that China and
So
Islam.
you don't want to make a bet with me?
Of course not, because
why
it's
not?
ridiculous. Well, because you and I will not meet in 20 years' time.
What's more ridiculous, me making that bet or you with that
Well,
sign?
you are exhaling CO2 even as we speak. So if you want to talk about people reducing their CO2 emissions, why don't you start at home?
I'm not
and,
talking
and
about
reduce
that.
your CO2.
I'm talking about
Thank you
asking
very
you to
much.
make a bet.
Thank
Would
you
you
very
like
much.
to make a
Thank
bet?
you.
No, you're wrong.
It's a pleasure. Can I just point out that Morris Blackburn's motto should be "We fight for our share first." This is exactly what happened with the Black Saturday bushfires. Morris Blackburn got their payout first, didn't they? Anyway, have a good day.
But nobody would have actually stood up and represented that class of people if
Look,
Morris Blackburn hadn't
yeah, well,
taken
thank
it
you
up.
for that. I regard Morris Blackburn as ambulance chasing parasites that should be put out of business. But anyway, have a good day. Have a good day. How much CO2 have you emitted today? Hypocrites. Hypocrites. CO2 emitters. There you go. There you go.
Up on this corner. I can't imagine. College Street corner. It's just full of people. They're all going down the path into the middle.
There's a lot of CO2 emissions here. I wonder what the offsets are. Are you tourists or are you demonstrators by any chance?
Yeah, we're demonstrating.
Okay.
Just got a pram.
I'm not sure it's a great place for a pram. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so what we're doing is there a break?
Melbourne on a Friday afternoon. Not a lot of business is being done because the eco-terrorists are here. The entitled eco-terrorists. A lot of unionists here too. Wonder if there's any John Setka fans amongst any of them.